Welcome to Preeminent Test Prep. Today I'll be taking you through the Math No Calculator section of SAT Practice Test 5. I'll be completing this in under 10 minutes to show you how to move efficiently and quickly on the Math No Calculator section. So let's go ahead and get started with question 1. Alright, question 1. Which of the following is an equation of line L in the xy plane above? Well, I see that my slope is 1 because I rise 1 and I run 1, right? I have an increase of 1y and an increase of 1x, and I have a y-intercept of 1, so my equation is going to be dy equals x plus 1. Question 2. The circle above with center O has a circumference of 36. What is the length of minor arc AC? Well, that's going to be from here to here. I see I have a 90-degree angle here. So that 90-degree angle over the 360-degree angle in total is going to be 1/4, and then I multiply that by my circumference of 36. I see this can be simplified to 9 over 36. 36 times 36 will cancel, and I'll be left with 9. So my answer is going to be A, 9. Question 3, what are the solutions of the quadratic equation 4x squared minus 8x minus 12? I can factor 4 out here because they're all multiples of 4, and that'll leave me with x squared minus 2x minus 3. I can factor that, and I can say that that's going to be x minus 3 times x plus 1, which means that my solutions then will be x equals 3 and x equals -1, which is answer choice B. Question 4, which of the following is an example of a function whose graph in the xy plane has no x-intercepts? Choice A, a linear function whose rate of change is not 0. No, because then it will have to hit the x-intercept at some point. B, a quadratic function with real zeros. Real zeros means that it does have x-intercepts. C, a quadratic function with no real zeros, and that'll be the answer because a quadratic function with no real zeros will not cross the x-axis. Alright, question 5. In the equation above, k is a constant. If x equals 9, what is the value of k? Alright, we'll have minus 9 here. I'll add 9 to both sides, so that'll cancel. I'll have 9 is equal to k plus 2 squared, or k plus 2, the square root. I square each side. 9 squared is 81, so now I have 81 equals k plus 2. I subtract 2 from each side to get k, and that leaves me with 79 equals k. So my answer is 79, which is D. Question 6. Which of the following is equivalent to the sum of the expressions a squared minus 1 and a plus 1? Well, a squared plus a, that's what we're going to get here and here. And then we have minus 1 plus 1. Minus 1 plus 1 cancels. I'm left with a squared plus a, so my answer is A. Question 7. Jackie has 2 summer jobs. She works as a tutor, which pays $12 per hour, and she works as a lifeguard, which pays $9.50 per hour. She can work no more than 20 hours per week, but she wants to earn at least $220 per week. Which of the following systems of inequalities represents this situation in terms of x and y, where x is the number of hours she tutors and y is the number of hours she works as a lifeguard? Alright, well, when she works as a lifeguard, y is the number of hours she works there, and she makes $9.50 working as a lifeguard. So I'm going to have 12x, because she earns $12 per hour working as a tutor, and x is the amount of hours she does tutoring. 12x plus 9.5, y has to be greater than 220. This one says less than, so that one's out. This one says less than, so it's out, because it says that she wants to earn at least $220. So these two are in because they each have that, and then x plus y has to be less than 20 because she doesn't want to work more than 20 hours. So our answer is going to be C. Alright, question 8. In air, the speed of sound, s in meters per second, is a linear function of the air temperature T in degrees Celsius and is given by the equation S of T is equal to 0.6 T plus 331.4. Which of the following statements is the best interpretation of the number 331.4 in this context? Well, that's going to be where T equals 0, right? If T is 0, then that means I'm at 0 degrees Celsius, and I have 0 plus 331.4, which means the speed of sound in meters per second at 0 degrees Celsius is the meaning of 331.4. Question 9. If xy is a solution to the system of equations above and x is greater than 0, what is the value of xy? Well, I see y equals x squared, so I'm going to plug in x squared here. So now I have 2x squared plus 6 is equal to 2x plus 6, right, when I multiply this 2 by the x and by the 3. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this all equal to 0, factor, and find my answer. So I have 2x squared, I have plus 6. I'm going to go ahead and subtract 6 from this side and this side. That's going to get rid of my 6. I'm going to subtract 2x from each side. So now I have 2x squared minus 2x equals 0. I factor out that 2x, and then I have 2x times x minus 1 equals 0, which means my x has to equal 1. When I have x equals 1, 1 squared is equal to 1, which means that 1 squared equals y. Y must also equal 1. 1 times 1, because I'm asked for xy, is 1, so my answer is A. Alright, question 10. If a squared plus b squared equals z and ab is equal to 9, which of the following is equivalent to 4z plus 8y? Well, if z is a squared plus b squared, I'm going to do 4a squared, right, plus 4b squared is what that's going to come out to when I plug that in for z. And then I have 8 times y. It says y is ab, so I'm going to have plus 8ab. I just find which equation gives me that. Well, I know that that 4a squared and that 4b squared, that's going to have that 2a and that 2b, because when I square it, right, because 2a times 2a gives me 4a squared, and 2b plus 2b, or 2b times 2b, I'm sorry, will give me 4b squared, and then I also have 2b times 2a times 2, which will give me 8ab. So my answer there is going to be B. Alright, moving on to question 11. The volume of a right circular cylinder is 22 cubic centimeters. What is the volume in cubic centimeters of a right circular cylinder with twice the radius and half the height of a cylinder A? Alright, well, we know the equation for volume is V equals pi r squared times height. Alright, so if our height doubles, or if our height is half, right, then we'll have half. We're just going to use factor of change. Pi stays 1. If our radius then doubles, we'll have 2 squared times a half to find how much our volume will change by, and then we multiply this by our original, which is 22. Alright, well, we see that we're going to have 2 squared, that's going to be 4. 4 times a half, 4 over 2, that's 2. Now we got 2 times 22, which gives us 44. So our answer there is C. Question 12. Which of the following is equivalent to 9 to the power of 3/4? Alright, well, that's going to be the 4th root of 9 cubed. We see that that's not an answer choice, but we see these two, and we know those two have to be wrong because it's not possible, right? So now I'm going to go ahead and simplify by making 9 into a 3 as a base. So that's going to give me, if I change this to a 3, right, then that's the same as 3 squared, because 9 equals 3 squared. Now when I do that, I have to multiply my 2 by my 3/4. Multiplying 2 by 3/4 gives me 6 over 4. 3 to the power of 6 over 4 is equal to 3 to the power of 3 over 2, which means that I'm going to have I'm going to have the second root of 3 to the third. Right, so I can go ahead and take 1 3 out, and I'm left with 3 root 3. So my answer is D. Alright, question 13. At a restaurant, n cups of tea are made by adding tea bags of hot water. If t equals n plus 2, how many additional tea bags are needed to make each additional cup of tea? The answer is going to be 1, because if we want 1 tea, right, if we want an extra tea, we have to add 1 n, right? They're proportional. So we're going to have B1. Alright, question 14. The function f is defined by the equation above. Which of the following is the graph of y equals negative f of x in the xy plane? Well, y equals negative f of x will just be negative 2x. We're just multiplying this whole equation by negative 1, right? So that's going to give us negative 2x, or negative 2 to the power of x, and this will be minus 1 then. Alright, so we need a negative y-intercept then, right? We see we have that in those, we have that those. We know that we have to open down because we're going to have negative 2 to the power of x. So as we go towards infinity, we have to go more negative, right? So b is out, and then I look at, if I plug in 0 for x, I'll have negative 2 to the power of 0, which is the same as negative 1, because 2 to the power of 0 is 1. So I have negative 1 minus 1. So my y-intercept then will equal negative 2, right? I see where I have that. I have that at C. All right, question 15. Alan drives an average of 100 miles a week. His car can travel an average of 25 miles per gallon of gasoline. Alan would like to reduce his weekly gas expenditure by 5. Assuming gas costs $4 per gallon, which equation can he use to determine how many less miles he should drive each week? Well, that's going to be his cost per mile driven is $4 divided by the 25 miles per gallon he gets. We multiply that by m, and we need that to equal 5. So our answer there is D. All right, question 16. Maria plans to rent a boat. The boat rental costs $60 per hour. She'll also have to pay for water safety costs. It costs $10. Maria wants to spend no more than $280 for the rental and course. If the boat rental is available only for a whole number of hours, what's the maximum number of hours she can rent the boat? Well, that's going to be 280 minus her initial cost of 10, which is 270. 270 over 60. That's going to give us a little bit over 4, right? So midway through the 4s, but she can only rent it for whole numbers of hours. So our answer there is 4. Question 17, what value of p is the solution to the equation above? Well, we're going to get 2p plus 2, and then plus 8p minus 8. Well, 2p plus 8p gives me 10p, and then I have 2 minus 8, which gives me minus 6 equals 5p. I'm going to add 6 to this each side, right? So now I get 6 here. I subtract 5p from each side, and now I get 5p equals 6. I divide each side by 5. I get p is equal to 6 over 5. Alright, question 18. The system of equations above has a solution xy. What is the value of x? I plug in 2x here for y up here. So now I get 2x plus 2x, that's 4x. Half of 4x is 2x. I divide each side by 2 to solve for x, which means that I have 2 times 2 here. So I get 21 over 4. Alright, question 19. The expression above is equivalent to a over x plus 2 squared, where a is a positive constant and x does not equal negative 2. What is the value of a? Alright, well, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get a common denominator by multiplying by x plus 2 over x plus 2. I do that, I get 2x plus 4. So now I have 2x minus 2x, which gives me 0x, and then I have 6 minus 4. 6 minus 4 will give me 2, so I'll have 2 over x plus 2 squared, so my value of a will be 2. Alright, question 20. Intersecting lines R, S, and T are shown below. What's the value of x? Well, this 106 means I have to have a 74 here to make that 180, and then all of these interior angles in this triangle I have to add to 180. 74 plus 23 gives me 97, which means I have to have, 74 plus 23 gives me 97, which means that I have to have 83 right there, which means that x will equal 180 minus 83, which is equal to 97. Thank you for watching Preeminent Test Prep. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share, as we will be releasing more videos to help you prepare for the SAT.